Satnam and welcome, beautiful friends. They tell us that April showers will bring May flowers. And one thing I can assure you, in the month of April, there is going to be a flood of showers unlike anything that we've ever seen thus far. But May is going to bloom with beautiful renewal as flowers blossom and truth begins to set in, really on a deep level, upon humanity. April is going to be a mind-blowing month when it comes to so many topics, including leadership, communication, truth, weather, and so much more. April is going to be an overload of changes, both when it comes to astrological and energetic shifts and changes, bringing about, in the end, solutions in renewal when we move forward by this time in the month of May, by the beginning of May, by mid-May. Welcome everybody to my channel, back to my channel. My name is Joseph Tittel, aka Spiritman JT. Just call me JT. I am so grateful that you are here. This is my April 2023 predictions, which I did live yesterday on April 1st. It is now 10:30 in the morning here in Sedona, Arizona on Sunday, April 2nd. But some folks complained about the audio, so I am going to unlist yesterday's video and re-upload it with today's information. And hey, you never know. As you know, Spirit gives me more information as we flow along with each week live. And this is live for me now, even though you're watching a recording of it. So, you know, there might be more information today than there was yesterday. If you are new to the channel, you want accurate predictions, prophecy, truth, then baby, you found your tribe. Don't forget to smash that subscribe. Also, clicking that like button helps the channel and it helps the algorithms show that you want this to show up on your feed. And not just this, but similar content, predictions, prophecy, and truth. So be sure to click that. I want to take a moment to thank all my supporters, because this free content that I am providing for you would not be possible at all if it wasn't for those supporters. Through their chat, cash, PayPal, and my members down below in the community here. Besides hitting subscribe, you can join the community on a monthly basis. Or you can join the Awaken Your Spirit Subscribe Star community and hang out with us on Zoom and so much more. Check it all out. My links down below. Don't forget to open up my newsletter down below too. Open up that newsletter and subscribe so that you never lose contact of where I'm at or what I'm doing as far as events, special discounts, videos that you may have missed, content, and so much more. So let's move on with the month of April. Many good and positive things can happen and will happen and arise from this month of April. Think of April showers as being a huge cleansing that is about to overtake our planet, a huge cleansing that's needed on our planet desperately. April is going to be extremely significant when it comes to washing away a long trail of tears, dirt, crud, and darkness, all left behind by the darkness. Time to wash that all away. So in other words, we can certainly plan on seeing a record amount of information, truth, and justice that is about to be served upon the opposition. The opposition, which would be those who are filled with lies and injustices that they bring upon others. April is a month that will relatively bring about karma in a visual way. Karma in a visual way, which means it'll be a way in which we can see and recognize this karma being delivered. Whether it be your own personal karma, or whether it be the karma of others, especially those in the public light, like leaders and influencers. They must begin to start leading and influencing on a more positive level, while also being recognized for any falseness, lies, or injustices their influence or leadership has brought upon us. Really important, because karma is everything in the universe. Karma is like everything in the universe, a combination of both the yin and yang, positive and negative. Think about it. You can't get juice out of a battery unless there's an equal polarity of positive and negative. If there's too much positive, it'll blow up in your face. If there's too much negative, you won't get no juice out of it at all. So, equal polarities. It's everything in the universe. And unfortunately, our Earth has been completely out of polarities for many generations. It's time for that to all be washed away and all these things to come to the surface. So therefore, not only are we going to witness this karma being delivered, but we're also going to see karma serving up amazing blessings as well. Again, positive and negative. All the good that people have done for themselves, more importantly for others or for our dear Mother Earth, are ready to be rewarded with positive aspects of karma. So something to look forward to. Excuse me. We must remember the balance of positive and negative. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat. So we must remember both the balance of the positive and the negative. It's really, really important. Not just because it may be a negative event or appear to us to be a negative event or a negative prediction, where the negativity lies, we got to always remember that there's still going to be good that's going to be served up through that negative event or through that negative prediction. Again, that balance of yin and yang. So much is occurring in April with the start of our second Mercury retrograde of 2023, an energy shift as well on top of that, beginning with the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, which goes into effect on April 7th, which affects communications and brings about truth. As you know, if you've been following me long enough, we talk about it every cycle. Mars is also going into Gemini, a sign representing communications as well, after residing in Taurus for about 7 months. Just these two alignments alone are going to help make April a wild roller coaster ride of truth, justice, and so much more. Really going to be an interesting show to watch. Ready for the show, friends? Well, the show already started. What are we saying? So on April 21st, not only do we step directly into that retrograde, into those retrograde deep waters, but we also have on the same day Jupiter transitioning into Aries. Two very huge and very significant astrological events occurring on the 21st. So this is all going to begin on April 19th, actually. A very powerful 3-day window. April 19th is the new moon, followed by a solar eclipse on the 20th, and then the direct retrograde on the 21st. That's powerful, a very important window of time in the month of April. And that window of time, again, will be from the 19th to the 21st. Actually, 19th to the 22nd, because Spirit threw in that last date, that 4-day window. So April, speaking of twos, is a 2 vibrational month. Last month, March was the 1, new beginnings, new starts, and so forth. Now we're in that 2 vibrational. So this is going to actually allow us to take action on any of the plans, any of the ideas, any of the goals that you had made back in March. This is a time to get a foothold on these things, to really make these things happen. So folks, go out there and get them. Make it happen. Focus on your goals. It's a powerful, powerful time. Not only that, with the retrograde in the spring equinox, the spring season, we're in spring. We just stepped into spring season. It's a great time this month to clean out the closets, both on a metaphorical level and on a actual physical level, literally cleaning out closets, but also cleaning the skeletons out of our closets. Really, really important if we have any still lingering in our closets, because this is all about bringing renewal to and you can also bring renewal to your home and your office by, putting a fresh coat of paint on the walls, which I'm currently doing throughout this home. This room's done, actually. You like my color? It's called Good Luck. Everybody asks what color what's it called? It's called Good Luck. I had to get that one, right? Bringing that positive energy and positive vibes. Again, if you're just getting here, I welcome you to my channel. Well, we're not live. What am I saying? So you're watching from the beginning, hopefully. If you're still here, again, thanks for hanging on to my channel. I'm so glad that you're with me. I love you so much for hanging out with me. So the recent, we had a recent level 4 magnetic storm, which brought with it a cleansing for humanity last month, actually just a few weeks ago. And that also brought with it a recalibration of our energies, our frequencies, and our DNA. Spirit says that this is the first of just 3 that are yet to come. So a couple of symptoms that you may have felt, dizziness, that was really significant. I got very dizzy last weekend, I think it was. Dizziness, feeling extra tired, jet lagged, heightened dreams. Some people as bad as flu symptoms, and that would be because there's a resistance happening if you're getting flu symptoms during these recalibrations of our energies and the frequency on Mother Earth. But again, Spirit says that this is going to happen at least 3 times in a row. And we're not far off from the second solar magnetic storm to begin between now and early May. Spirit also warns that there will be a repeat of the 1859 Carrington event that is due to hit our planet. I'm not saying that's going to happen in April 2023 or even in 2023, but definitely between now and 2024. Probably one of the three events that Spirit's telling us that are going to happen in a row. We just had one of them. So I'd imagine, again, if you follow me long enough, you'll know that as we get close to events, I get more information and such. So remember, I'm here every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, now I upload a video instead of live, but I'm in the chat room chatting with you. You have to be a subscriber to be a part of the chat room, and you have to be a subscriber for at least a month. So if you try to get in the chat room and you don't see it, that would be why. But hang out with us every Tuesday evening. Updates on predictions, news stories, and how they relate to predictions and prophecy. So large solar flares during the upcoming energy shift cycle, Spirit says, is going to once again realign humanity to a whole new level and a whole new frequency once again. Something that is, of course, we can all agree is well needed and very well needed, like what the one we just received last week or within the past 2 weeks. I would say that that's going to occur during the energy shift, which is actually early May is the energy shift. But we'll have to wait and see. But we need to know that there is a intense DNA upgrade that's coming on top of the one that we all just had. So April showers will be more like April floods and catastrophic Earth events, unfortunately, but it is April. Remember Spirit telling us a while back that it's all part of the greater awakening, the Earth shift and the future Earth and the future new Earth in the future. Good, remember Spirit always told us that good's going to prevail in the end of it all when we reach that point of the new Earth, which I believe will be 2032. I'm pretty convinced of that, actually. Definitely, maybe before that, but 2032 is when Spirit told me 20 years ago that we would be rebuilding the planet in 2032. And Spirit told me that over 20 years ago. Now that we're approaching that time period, it's somewhat surreal. I'm like, when I was younger, I couldn't even imagine when Spirit told me this, making it to 2032. And here we are, not far away from it. But going back to floods and such, good will prevail, but I do warn of great flooding events that are soon going to make the rains of March look like drizzle in comparison. And we had severe floods here in Arizona. A creek in my backyard was flooded. They evacuated certain areas and such. But Spirit said that April is going to make that look like drizzle. Not necessarily for Arizona, but for other places, which I'm going to tell you about in just a moment. So my previous warning and previous predictions to the West Coast, California, Washington, Oregon, and Nevada still hold strong. Spirit brought that up when I was channeling this information. Nevada and Las Vegas, both in the same place, just a small part. Las Vegas is just a small part of huge Nevada. That jumped out really strongly at me. And I would expect that this would be due to multiple events, including a flooding of streets, because I had a vision of flooding of streets. I would tell folks that are in Nevada, especially Vegas, to expect the earth to shake beneath their feet and not to be alarmed in the near future when it does occur. Earthquake activity is about to have a super flare up, according to Spirit. And I never heard Spirit say super flare up before. This super flare up, as Spirit referred to it as, will of course affect the lava flow beneath the Earth's crust, therefore unleashing another massive volcanic eruption like that which we seen at La Palma a few years ago. And that was in my visions and my predictions, but again, Spirit brought it up, and I would imagine that that's likely going to occur in the month of April. Massive volcanic eruption in April, early May, perhaps multiple, as we're going towards that energy shift and towards the moon cycles as well. On April 5th, we have the full moon coming up. It's April 5th, April 6th, depending on where in the planet you live on. And they're in my important dates that I'm going to bring to you at the end of this. But remember, again, I'll have more details, especially when it comes to weather predictions on Tuesday's show. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and be here on Tuesday. You will find my upload there. We've already seen so many trains already derail and accidents revolved around transportation. In my 2023 world predictions on New Year's Day, if you recall, Spirit warned that this would be there would be accident-prone energies coming in throughout the year. And in my visions in the past, some of you are new here, so in my visions in the past, to repeat, I had visions of plane and helicopter crashes. This is the accident-prone energy. And Spirit says that accident-prone energy is going to heighten this month in April, which is interesting because we just saw 2 helicopters collide and crash here in the United States. I think it killed 9 people. And we weren't even in the intense aspect of the accident-prone energy. And that just happened, a week ago or in the past week? It was before April, though. Spirit says accident-prone energy is going to intensify a bit for a short period. But, again, that accident-prone energy is throughout this whole year. Certain points it'll be more effective than others. It's going to actually seem a little surreal and somewhat unreal when it comes to suddenly seeing so many plane and train incidents. We're already seeing lots of train incidents and crashes. And, Spirit says it's going to become so sudden, so much. We're already seeing with trains. But again, keep in mind, over 1,600 trains derailed last year. We're hearing more of it this year because it's trains that are carrying toxic chemicals and basically poisoning us or poisoning the people where this is occurring, including ethanol, I think it was ethanol or diesel or something, just spilled on native ground. Just been too much, as you know. But what Spirit showed me that I thought was kind of funny is that there's going to be, not funny, the last part of the sentence is funny, but the sudden increase of so many accidents and incidents around transportation is going to have, of course, conspiracy theorists going crazy. It's going to drive them nuts with all kinds of information. But it's the energy. Well, it doesn't mean it's not still things being sabotaged, because some of these things have been, but not all of them. It's the energy, and energies affect everything, my friends, everything. So it's going to be interesting. Unfortunately, we're going to see too many incidents and accidents occurring, not just with trains or planes, but also with automobiles. So I urge you all, please, beautiful friends, beautiful souls, when you're out and about, please just be careful. And if you're a driver, remember the 3 C's of driving. I still remember this from high school. The 3 C's of driving: caution, common sense, and courtesy. All right, it's caution, courtesy, common sense. Those 3 in that order. That's the 3 C's of driving. So just be careful when you're out and about. Whether you're in a vehicle or anywhere, just know those energies are there, but don't let that fear overtake you and make you cause an incident or accident. That's the other thing. Just be aware of it, meaning that you just got to be extra cautious. That's all. As my father would always say, you don't have to worry about yourself. You got to worry about some other idiot hitting you. Which is true in many cases. But just be extra cautious. Don't pull out in front of somebody if you're hesitant. Just don't pull out in front of them. Or you'll end up getting rear-ended or something. As long as you take precautions, friends, you'll be fine. But going back to the whole realm of travel, if you're not prepared for travel delays, then it's going to make any travels in April travel nightmares instead of, positive. So if you're expecting delays and prepared for it, then it won't be so bad. But I tell you, be prepared for delays and major cancellations when it comes to airlines. Major cancellations. Some of that's going to be from a hack as well. But anyway, it was like that song from Led Zeppelin, Spirit told me, because we are in these energies that are all affecting communication. So it's Led Zeppelin, communication breakdown, drive me insane. Yeah, good song. I was a lead head when I was younger. But Led Zeppelin, communications breakdowns is a big highlight of this month. If we had a theme song for the month, it would be that one. It would be Led Zeppelin's communication breakdown. And that includes communications with other people, the way you interact with other people. You can send a text message with no negative intention at all, and then the person reads it and takes it as negative. That happens very often during Mercury retrograde. So pick up the phone and call people a little more often in April, especially when we get into the direct retrograde on the 21st through into May. Really, really important. So don't rush into anything. If you're going anywhere, just take your time. Going from one destination to the other, no matter what transportation you're taking or utilizing. This brings me to the realm of electronics and communications. Do not panic, friends, when suddenly your cell phones do not work anymore. When your internet is down for countless hours on end, do not panic. It is these energies. When in doubt, blame the energies. That's what I say. Major companies like Verizon, AT&T, and Comcast are going to experience major wide outages. Wide outages. Some lasting days and some resulting with absolutely no answers as to why they happened in the first place. And again, that'll have conspiracy theorists jumping in when they're not explaining why it went out or they can't find a reason. But again, these energies can take something out and bring it back up later without any explanation. That can definitely be an energetic influence. So you got to remember that, friends. Outages are not going to be limited just to your phone, internet, or cable. We're also going to see social media giants start to lose control of their platforms, causing a social media panic when folks can't get on Facebook or TikTok or Google. Major communication breakdowns and issues that we I just lost my spot. Or actually, I typed something wrong. But anyway, major communication breakdowns and issues that are hackers. That's the word I couldn't get out of my brain. Hackers. Some of this is going to be hack related, especially with the big social media platforms. It's going to be huge hacks. And therefore, we're also going to see during this whole time period, people speaking up against social media platforms as well. Like we just saw with TikTok CEO here in the United States, which is interesting because if you remember back in January 1st, Spirit brought in the prediction that TikTok would eventually be banned completely here in the United States. But soon it might not matter anyway. Regardless, doesn't matter. It does matter because people are so addicted to it and it's really just not very healthy. Really addicted to it. I know the kids, when they're on their phone, they're always on their phone, always, constantly, you know. And my niece said to me, well, you're always on your computer. I'm like, I'm working on my computer. There's a difference. I'm not on social media flicking through videos and such. I'm actually doing stuff, constructive things. So going back to these major corporations, we're about to see a hacker pull off one of the biggest hacks in history. And Spirit does not make me feel that Spirit made me feel that this is somewhat of an inside job. So we got to keep our eyes peeled on this really closely. One of the biggest, or pulling off the biggest hack in history. I can't imagine what that could be. Maybe to the banks. I'm not sure. But it's somewhat of a hidden inside job, whatever that means. Whatever, Spirit's trying to tell us with that. And time will tell. Speaking again of social media giants, tech companies, and large corporations, including like media corporations like Disney, for example, in general. Spirit says it's time for all of them to start paying up. That goes back to the karma in the beginning of these predictions and the energies of karma this month. And that karma is going to be forcing companies that have been taking free rides on people to actually have to pay up. Therefore, we're going to see several large, massive lawsuits that are going to be filed against some of these big giants. And some of these giants are going to be forced to pay up to governments as well, whether it's fined by the government or what have you. Companies are going to be forced to pay up. About time they do anyway. We're going to see an unprecedented amount of power outages. And some countries are going to go into the darkness for long periods of time. Weeks perhaps, which in some places, this could bring about civil unrest. For example, like Africa. It's just popped in my brain. Not that it is Africa, but just an example. And it might start off there. I see major hacking or sabotaging or both to a fairly large power station. And this will likely cause a power outage for days, maybe again weeks, before they are able to get the power back up and restored. People are already out of control as is. I mean, and will be this month, especially. That energy is heightening. People are going to start losing their friggin' minds. So that's why I urge you, friends, meditation, prayer, grounding your energy. All very important. Get yourself a crystal. Keep yourself grounded. I always play with my crystal. It keeps me focused where I need to be. Do that, or you're going to have issues with emotions and all kinds of things that don't need to be if you're resistant. So just keep yourself grounded. People are going to be out of their minds as is, and we certainly do not need any events like power outages to feed into people's craziness and to their conspiracy as well. With communications, travel, and finances being highly influenced in April and becoming a much larger focus this month, the focus on our banking system and our banks is going to continue through this month of April, as we're going to see, sadly, more and more small banks begin to close their doors. Even more sadly, is we're also going to see people's money disappearing and people and being their money disappearing and being taken by bankrupt bankers. That's what they are. They're bankrupt bankers and bankrupt banks. And failed cryptocurrencies as well. So I warned you about that a long time ago, and look what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried and all that. I told you that was going to happen. No, and some of you listened and pulled your stuff out. I am not a financial expert. I am a psychic, by the way. Keep that in mind. Really important. But, I called it. I also said that there was going to be a big drop in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to rise back up again, by the way. But I'll talk about that more in a different video, maybe on Tuesday's show. Again, all the more reason to subscribe and make sure you don't miss me on Tuesdays. Going back to these banks taking people's money and banks closing their doors. Remember, I had visions of people lined up at banks, and we've seen it happen. We're going to see it again. Italy is another one that popped in my brain right now. So I don't know what's going on over in Italy with their banking system, but that could be where we see the next lines at people's banks would be in the country of Italy in the month of April, perhaps. Well, likely in the month of April. So huge drops are coming when it comes to the stock markets, as a final collapse of the dollar becomes much more apparent to people. Unfortunately, very unfortunate, especially for Americans. But that dollar, you can say goodbye to that dollar. And it's going to become very, very apparent in this month. So this is going to bring a rise to precious metals, as I predicted in the past, and it has arrived because precious metals has already started to go up. Remember, Spirit showed me a small dip and then a big rise, and I don't know if that occurred. I haven't paid attention to the prices of gold and silver lately, but I don't think it occurred yet. I know it was rising a little bit, especially gold. I see a small dip, big rise. That's the vision I've had for a little while now, so I would imagine that it's coming into fruition really soon. And again, remember I told you, and Spirit told us in past predictions, a huge dip, but I also told you I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a psychic. Really, really important to throw that in there. In some countries, we're going to begin to see a big hit to the elders, to the elderly community, which is not cool at all. They already suffer enough. But we're going to see a blow to their benefits, which is probably what's happening right now in France. Protesting over moving the age of retirement up 2 years. The United States did that how many times? Nobody complained. We should have. I don't know why we're sitting on our butts not standing up and stopping this, stopping the dollar from falling and collapsing, insisting that we have something better put into place. As Spirit told us in the past, it must be backed by gold. There's going to be several currencies that come about in the future. One, of course, is connected to the Antichrist. That is the mark of the beast, and that, of course, is a digital currency. But if it's not backed by gold, solid, backed by gold and precious metals, the Spirit said it's not good. It's not positive. That's what Spirit said a couple years ago, actually. So we'll have to see how that plays off, because there's so many currencies up in the air right now. This month, the United States is launching its digital currency. So, folks, you got change hanging around. Go through your change. Go through all your coins. See if they're worth anything. Cash them in at the bank, because pretty soon there's going to be a point where they're only going to give you a very small percentage for that change. If anything, it might be worthless soon. So get rid of it. I got a whole thing of it in the bedroom closet. I got to go get that and take that down and cash it in. But I want to look at all the coins to see if any are worth anything. Because, there's some pennies that are worth thousands of dollars. If you get the right one, you just got to look at them. Most people don't look at their change. Moving back into older people losing their money and losing their benefits. But I also see something happening around certain IRAs. So again, if there's a possibility of backing up your IRAs with precious metals, I urge you to do so. Ask your financial advisor. I bet you they would urge you to do so too, especially now. Otherwise, you may end up with no IRA by the time the United States is done and the Biden administration's done with taking everything from us. They're doing a really good job at it so far. And Americans are doing a really good job at allowing it to happen, unfortunately. But remember, a little patience for house buyers. If you're trying to buy a home, wait a little while, because just waiting a few months, a little bit of patience can end up saving you thousands of dollars. Just saying. A huge disgrace is about to hit to many who are in the spotlight, again, including leaders, celebrities, and so forth. This is going to be this could be a month that leads to one of my last predictions. If you recall, I had visions of the Hollywood sign falling and took that both as two things, a literal thing, meaning part of the sign's going to fall, but also a metaphoric symbol of spirit saying a big fall of Hollywood's coming. And Hollywood's been falling since, and I said that like about a year ago. So perhaps it has to do with that and could likely come into fruition in the near future, I would expect, being I was reminded of it yesterday. And also another, probably compared to like another Cosby or Harvey Weinstein type event. We're going to see secrets coming out about some shocking secrets about some celebrities. Some may actually end up in jail, which would also align with my past predictions from New Year's Day. So we're going to have to wait and see, but it's going to be a very big month of people being disgraced because of their fetishes. Yeah, that's it. Because of their fetishes. And not only that, you think like Jeffrey Epstein, you think that's done? You think just because he's not in the picture, or at least you don't think he's in the picture, they make you think he's dead, or even if he is dead, you think that ended? No. He wasn't the only one, Spirit says. There were three at one point. 3 Epsteins. I don't know what there is now, but somebody definitely took his place. So I believe that more information is going to be revealed around the Jeffrey Epstein case, big time, including, hopefully, the tapes that somebody has. There's tapes, video, and audio tapes that someone has. We need them to be released. Together we can make this happen by holding it in the light. Those people need to pay for what they've done to others and the horrible things. So again, a new Epstein sicko being revealed and disgraced, as they should be, in the month of April, early May. People can be very vulnerable when it comes to falling into panic and losing their minds, right? So I urge you, again, to stay grounded, stay positive, and always remember that this too shall pass. Whatever it may be that you're dealing with in your lives, it will pass. Stay positive. Do not lose control. Watch your words and watch your text messages and stuff as well. Because again, miscommunications is huge in the month of April and in May as well. So I said it before and I'll say it again, backed up by my Team Spirit. And you, Team Spirit, keep your eyes to the skies, friends. Keep your eyes to the skies. It's going to be very, very important. Again, I'm repeating myself, but there's a reason why. Because April and May, we're going to see things in the skies and witnesses of things that were never seen in the skies before, both in April and May. This is going to include a huge uptick in reported dyslexia. I just said that totally backwards. I was going to say FOU, UFO, or UAPs. A record uptick in the sightings, reported sightings. That's big. That's huge. Do not at all be surprised, friends, when we see another sky event media blitz like we did with the Chinese spy balloon stuff occurring once again. So don't be surprised by that. And if they do pull that off again, we'll know ahead of time that it is all just flags that fly ever so falsely. Spirit warns us not to believe what they push out in front of us. No matter how cool or how interesting it may appear to be in the skies, don't listen to what they throw out in a media blitz. That's what Spirit told me to warn everybody of. So it'll be interesting to see what that's going to be. Sky events are going to include something strange falling from the skies onto the earth, vehicles, homes, and humans. And I feel that there's actually going to be separate, non-related occurrences of a string of substances falling from the skies. I have no idea what that is. Not only strange substances, but of course, we're also going to witness a large amount of birds falling from the sky deceased. That's sad. Australia came to my mind when I was channeling information on these sky events. So I would tell everybody, but especially our friends down under, to keep a strong eye to the sky and be sure that you have your camera or your phone with you when you go outside to look at the sky and do some sky gazing. On a different subject, discoveries. Because new discoveries will come out from the skies as well. Not just the skies, but we're still on the subject of the skies. So new discoveries coming out of our skies and from around our galaxy. Discoveries of several new planets, and one of these planets is going to be much closer to Earth than anyone would have thought possible, according to Spirit. I'm wondering if it's Nibiru, Planet X, the Red Star, Red Kachina in prophecies. Wonder if that's one of these. I doubt it, because I don't think that's coming until 2029. But it'll be interesting to see what this new planet is. It's much closer than they would have ever expected. Kind of like they missed it. How we missed that? It wasn't there before. We never saw it before. It's kind of like that kind of thing. Spirit says that when they warn us or try to put out a threat that there's a comet or a large meteor heading towards Earth causing a potential threat, know that that will not be real news. So I thought that was interesting from Spirit. Although, going back to things falling from the skies, we can expect to see amazing footage coming up in the near future of a crashing meteor, including a record-breaking sized meteor. It's going to be huge, which means it's probably not all going to burn up in the atmosphere. Some of it's definitely going to crash to the Earth. And it felt to me like not in a place where there's people, so that's good. And more of a secluded area, hopefully. But also a small meteor I did see crashing into a building. Kind of reminded me of what happened, 5-6 years ago in Russia. You remember that video? Reminded me of that. No reported injuries, Spirit said. Julian Assange came to my mind. And I said something about him in my predictions sometime in the past month or two. And I know we're about to witness another huge Julian Assange, Edward Snowden type whistleblowing event. That's coming. Spirit's been telling us that for a while, and it's on our doorstep. An event that we really should look forward to seeing occur. And I don't know if that's why Julian Assange came to my mind. I would think that some other things may come up around him this year. And I don't know why previous administrations here in the United States didn't give them immunity. Both Edward Snowden and Julian Assange just says a whole lot, if you ask me, because they're all connected. As you hear me say all the time, right wing, left wing, same bird. Amazing new technologies are going to be revealed, including breakthroughs in cancer treatments and a breakthrough in the fields of energy. Energy meaning like electricity and power. New forms of creating energy. Some that have already been created and suppressed for decades, and Spirit says now we're at a point on the planet where they cannot hold us back from these amazing new energy creators. Because we know that if you do your research and you go down that rabbit hole, there's been so many things invented, like the electrical box that forms electricity just from the air. And when these inventions come to light, soon after the person commits suicide or ends up dead in an accident. And we know why. Like the guy that created a car that runs on water. What's up with that? He disappeared. Can't find nothing on him anymore. They wiped the internet of his information too. Kind of interesting. The Spirit says that these creations can't be held back from us any longer. Especially if our divine Lord had 100 people create the same thing. and bring it to the surface all at the same time. See what I mean? That would be like really pretty amazing. So it could occur that way. Speaking of creepy things, artificial intelligence, that's very creepy. And concerns over AI is going to hit the forefront this month, especially controversy that's going to arise around apps like ChatGPT. ChatGPT and similar apps will become a great concern, bringing about a small movement attempting to abolish AI technology such as ChatGPT. That'll be interesting. I don't think that small movement will be very successful at all at doing anything, but they're going to try. We'll give them credit for that. Remember, not just in the month of April, but all of this year, 2023 is all about bringing solutions to major issues. The banking system is just one great, easy example, as new currencies are going to replace our current falling currencies. We just have to hold in the light that that currency is something positive that's backed by gold, for example. In the end, and in the end of all this, in the end of this time, remember, even though we're being pulled through darkness and out of the darkness, we're still going to be pulled out of that darkness and into the light. And a new way of thinking and an entire renewal when we reach this point in 2024. So, it may be feeling like the world's getting pulled through that darkness again, and through the darkness and out of the darkness, but out of the darkness comes the light. Spirit was very pushy on making sure we were aware of that, especially as we get into this time next year, by spring of next year, 2024. Dates that are important, very important dates, is that window that I told you about, the 19th through the 22nd. That's a very powerful window of time, astrologically, energetically, all related. Numerology, as far as the 22nd is concerned. This would be, I believe, the most significant time window of April of all. Also, other dates, April 5th and 6th. Again, depending on where you're at on the planet, that is when our moon is full. I know here in Arizona, our full moon is April 5th, but on the East Coast of the United States, it's April 6th. But those dates, the 5th, the 6th, the 9th, 10th, and 11th, another 3-day window. I don't know what's up with the 9, 10, 11, but these are dates to hold close. Also, Easter jumps into my mind, and not really in a good way. Easter weekend, the whole Easter weekend jumps into my mind really strongly, and again, sadly, it did not feel for good reason. I don't know what the reason is, but the only thing that popped in my mind was Easter massacre. And I hope there's not an Easter massacre and something they label as that in future movies, but that's the only thing that popped in my mind. I don't know what that means. We could take that in many different ways, but we'll have to keep our eyes on Easter Sunday. We know that they want to abolish Christianity as much as they can in religion so that they can put in their new world religion and their new world currency and new world government. Not a conspiracy anymore, folks. Those people that said we were conspiracy theorists, they're not planning that. Well, now they say it right to our faces. We're doing this. We're going to do a great reset, a new world order. That's their plan. And we need to fight that new world order big time. Need to fight that. But they want to abolish Christianity. They want to abolish Jesus from our hearts and our souls. Why? So that they can steal our souls. And we're not going to allow them to do that. So together, friends, let us hold in the light that this is not at all the case. None of this is the case. And let us together remember for the third time in this show that meditation, prayer, and holding positive intentions for positive outcomes, this can actually help us to prevent certain predictions from coming into fruition. Also, being aware can always help you to prepare. Remember to catch me on Tuesday, every Tuesday. Usually I will upload the video. I'm in the chat room chatting with you on Tuesdays as well. Make sure that you hit that like button because I love you and I greatly appreciate it. And once again, I thank all my supporters who make this free content to others possible. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to spend countless hours putting this content out to you and talking to the spirits. Until the next time, folks, remember, always be kind to others as you wish others be kind to you, because we all know that mean people suck. And I will see you on Tuesday. I hope you have a fabulous, amazing rest of your day. Spiritman JT saying namaste. Have a great day.